Hello there, and welcome back to Ring Racers. In the last episode, I completed the SPB Cup, a set of deceptively simple circuits, barely missing out on a chance to enter the next sealed star by just 2 points. This video is mostly going to be about completing the Rocket Cup, but as is often the case, I need to spend some time collecting the spray cans I saw but didn't have the opportunity to collect last time. The first of these spray cans was on Azure Lake. It floats in plain sight towards the end of the course, and the intended method to reach it is obvious. Jump into it by using one of the exposed islands on the lake as a ramp. I tried this many times using the invincibility and sneakers I always bring with me into these match races, to no avail. I have a severe case of Stormtrooper syndrome and can barely hit other racers with projectiles, so delicately hurtling myself off these mounts into a tiny spray can is out of the question. After a good few laps circling the lake, missing the spray can every time, I finally got a spring in the item roulette. After a final run in the course, because as it turns out Azure Lake only seems to have the single set of item boxes, I lined myself up with the spray can Sado, used the spring, and jumped straight into the bottom of it. One quit out later, and I find out I unlocked the fairy colour, which is honestly a really ugly shade of pink, so I don't think I'll be using it that much. Chrome Gadget was an absolute cakewalk. The spray can here sits on the upper path of this tunnel section, but a spring is more than capable of reaching it if you don't want to try and aim and jump off this ramp. I was on the course for less than 30 seconds before I collected my prize. Quitting revealed the spray can corresponded to raspberry, an attractively vibrant shade of red. Desert Palace's spray can was immediately obvious. There's the grand total of one hidden area on the course, which requires you fire yourself off a ramp at the start of the track. Easier said than done though, because the angle and lack of invisible walls means that for my first 2 attempts, all I did was overshoot the landing and land back on the original track. Third time was the charm, and a final spin dash carried me to unlocking a new silver colour after I quit out. Not really my colour of choice, but at least it fills out more of this monolith of collection room. The final spray can for now was on Endless Mine, and it's by far the easiest I've yet seen. Take the first corner, then veer right into the off-road, and the spray can is just sat there, nestled into the corner. One quit out later, and I had unlocked Sapphire, a shade of blue that would be perfect for Metal Sonic. I'm sticking to Jackoman brand colours though, so into my ever-growing collection it goes, never to be seen again. And with my thirst for new colours once again sated, for now, it's finally time to get into the Rocket Cup. It's only now that I'm re-watching this footage that I realise that the hard-boiled heavies can actually be seen controlling their stadium. as they're perched on platforms above their individual sectors. Nice bit of detail, though one I miss when trying, and failing, to avoid their track gimmicks. In the heat of the moment, I didn't even compute that I'd collected a landmine before I dropped it on Amy. It served me well for this race, but as you'll see in just a moment, her AI seemed to take the attack as a personal insult, and she made sure I paid for it in turn. I did follow up Hardboiled Stadium with an embarrassingly poor result on Hard Hat Havoc, 7th place, requiring a second attempt at the course. Someone had woken up the Amy and Sonic AI, and they did a fantastic job at keeping me from enjoying pole position for any length of time. It culminated in a series of mistakes on the final straight of the third lap, which allowed most of the other racers to pass me too. I'll explain how ring races calculate your overall GP rank later, but put it this way, I really don't want to be retrying races more than I have to. This time around, the Sonic AI had calmed down significantly, but the Amy one still kept me on my toes. Of course, I could probably have done more if the game ever felt it right to bestow upon me anything more useful than singular goddamn bananas. That was until that moment, of course. At that point, I was pretty happy to have had a banana behind me. Considering how far behind me the other races actually were, I really did not need to burn those rings. I learned from this Reddit post by u/hopefulposition8668 that to earn an A rank and enter the sealed star, you need to end the cup with 425 points. I want you to memorize this summary, and if you want to test your brain and math skills, keep track of my performance in each race to see if it adds up to me reaching those 425 points. Obviously, I know the answer, but I don't want to spoil it yet. The TLDR is this. The big points are given for placing well and breaking prisons, but I need to keep track of my rings as well. I may have gotten an A rank there, but the other races were so far behind me that I should have risked it and stored the rings I used coming up the finish line, because I effectively lost myself 5 points using them. After the last CD one of these prisons dropped spawned over the endless abyss, I was somewhat glad that this one ended up practically dropping on my head. I could really do with my Gatsa bombs being lobbed when I input the lob command rather than just rolling, because now I've gone and lost a whole bunch of points because of it. Press Garden isn't actually as difficult as that first lap might have made it out to be, but it is one that you have to constantly hold yourself back on, because half-pipes crazy your speed, and this course loves putting them on every single corner. I love when you and another racer pass through an item box at the same time, because without fail it always ends up with you getting something weak and pathetic, while they pull out a Jaws or an electric shield or something like that. I tried to see if there was a way I could get Amy to fire her Jaws without it being able to hit me, or at least try and get another racer to take the hit, but in the end I just had to charge past and suffer the consequences myself. Managed to make up the time and pass Amy and Sonic using fast falls to avoid taking the half pipes, because the AI racers seem to be incapable of using fast falls unless mandatory, which did get me into first as I crossed the line. Problem was, my paranoia got the better of me, so I once again burnt a lot of unnecessary rings at the end to stay ahead of an enemy that was miles behind, plus poor placements in the first 2 laps led to a poor lap bonus. I needed to do well in the last 3 courses to make up for the loss in points. It was only after I saw that spray can out in the open that it clicked that Pico Park was very obviously Ring Racers' version of Baby Park from Mario Kart. Simple circular track, 8 laps, let chaos commence. That was the first time I had managed to pass on the egg mark to someone else, so I wasn't exactly happy when they went "screw you" and drove into me as it exploded anyway. I don't know how Kart Crew did it, what nefarious lines of code they hid deep in the systems that program your assigned rival in each Grand Prix, but they did a fantastic job of making them despicable little assholes that inspire nothing but burning hatred and loathing. Unsurprisingly, Baby Park in Ring Racers was a concept that would lead to nothing more than abject chaos. I had no idea what place I was in, who was in front of me, or what items were on the course for me to worry about at any given moment. I don't know why the game decided I was going to be the ball hog guy, but even on this course, I still don't think I hit anyone with any of their projectiles. All things considered, I don't think I can complain about my final results, even if they could technically be better. I saw all of those targets flying well above the ground and had my heart sink. I assumed this would be another course where I'd need to try and lob gats or bombs at prisons just to inevitably miss my millimeters and get timed out. Thank the stars that it ended up being pretty easy, and I'm fairly certain that this is the first prison break round I actually completed in a good few cups. I had heard City Escape was in the game, but man, nothing quite hits like the first time those notes start playing and you realise you've reached that point of the game. And when I realised it was a single circuit course, it only got better. That's the best kind of kart racing stage, and I'll hear no further argument on the matter. Having just got Sonic X Shadow Generations, it is a strange feeling seeing a grind rail and having to avoid it. What a level. I'm amazed at how well Kart Crew translated the original level design into a kart racing context, and it led to some of the most naturally competitive racing I've yet seen in the game. It helps that I finished with a healthy first place, a high lap bonus, and with a full pocket of rings, so if there was any chance I was going to make it into this sealed star, that race would have sealed it. If you have been tracking my stats, this is your last chance to spoil yourself and find out if I made it. For everyone else, here's the moment of truth. I'm just going to stay quiet for a few moments. I won't say why just yet, but hopefully you'll see when I come back. what a way to end a Grand Prix. Collecting an emerald with millimeters to go on my first attempt, leading to my first S rank on a cup, then having a cavalcade of new unlocks in the collection room. None of the reward criteria was that crazy, but adding it on top of everything else meant that the endorphins were running hot. Practically rewired my brain chemistry. Ring Races is an incredibly rewarding game once you get the hang of it, and I think it's safe to say that the disappointment of the SPB Cup was well and truly washed away by this result. I don't know whether I'm getting an S rank is considered easy in this game, but I don't care. I'm shouting from the rooftops. I'm finally good at this game. But before I finished for the day, there was one last challenge I wanted to tick off the list. It was a simple one, especially with the power of match race custom items. Drive through 4 blue beams from your own shrink item without dropping back to normal size. I don't really know why I chose Emerald Coast to do this on instead of something like a Pico Park, but it doesn't really matter. Having stayed huge for practically the entire race, I had easily fulfilled the challenge criteria no matter how you interpreted it, which unlocked the Poby follower. Not as exciting as I hoped, in all honesty, although it does make me realise I need to have a look at my followers rather than just stick until the tornado. For now at least. I hope you enjoyed the video. I certainly enjoyed recording it. And ciao.